What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to take a look at Harry GREB, the Pittsburgh Windmill, and William Ward. They called him Kid Norfolk. He was born July 10th, 1893 in Norfolk, Virginia. He died April 15th, 1969 in Harlem, New York. He stood 5 foot 10 inches and he weighed 165 to 183 and a quarter pounds. He was managed by Leo P. Flynn. Now, what's interesting about William Ward, Kid Norfolk. Soon after leaving Norfolk, Virginia, 1907, he would head over to Baltimore, Maryland. That's where you would find Joe Gans. And he would participate in the famous Battle Royale, along with hundreds of other black fighters. Some became world champion, such as Jack Johnson, BOUT, many others. Now, Kid Norfolk would move over to Panama for larger purses, and he would face heavyweight Sam McVeigh. He would defeat him in 20 rounds, knock out Arthur Perkley in the first and 14th round, 2 separate occasions. The Joplin Ghost, Jeff Clark, he would defeat him in 20 rounds. Big Bill Tate, he would defeat him in 20 rounds. That's really amazing. And after signing with Leo P. Flynn in 1917, he would twice face Ed Gunboat Smith and have 2 no decisions, 10-round fights with him. He would knock out Zulu Kid in the 8th round, George Ash in the 8th round. And after facing Sam Langford, Denver, he would be knocked out cold in the 2nd round. Losing the 12th round to Clay Turner, 1921, he would face middleweight Harry GREB. He'd also be in the ring with fighters such as Billy Misk, Jamaica Kid, John Lester Johnson. By the way, the John Lester Johnson fight, 1919. John Lester Johnson would call him a Willie boy. Those were fighting words. When they were called into the middle of the ring by the referee for fight instructions. Kid Norfolk didn't take kind to that, and he would knock out Johnson. Easy work. He'd also be in the ring with Jack Blackburn and James Tut Jackson. He'd also be in the ring with Tiger Flowers and Lee Black Fitzsimmons. They called him Kid Monday. Big Bill Tate and George Robinson. But he would face Harry GREB. Now, who was Harry GREB? He was born June 6, 1894. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He died October 22nd, 1926. Atlantic City, following a procedure of removing scar tissue from his eye. He would lose to Joe Chip, being knocked out cold in the corner. Kid Graves, he would break a bone in his arm. But have a no decision with Bob Moha, no decision with Mike Gibbons. Jack Blackburn, no decision with George Chip, former middleweight champion. Jeff Smith, 7 times. Gene Tunney, 5 times. He would lose to him once. Gene Tunney would defeat him once, and they would have no decisions the other 3 fights. He would face Jack Dillon, who would become light heavyweight champion. Mike O'Dowd, who would become middleweight champion in 1917. And he would lose his title to Johnny Wilson in 1920. Mike O'Dowd was from St. Paul, and he would defeat Al McCoy. Very good fighter was Mike O'Dowd. Harry GREB would also face Mike Mateague, who would become a light heavyweight champion when he defeated Balinsiki. August 29th, 1921, Harry GREB would face Kid Norfolk. They would meet in Forbes Field, baseball park. in front of a crowd of 5,500 spectators. Round 1 through round 4, both men would throw punches as though their life depended on it. And eventually, in the 6th round, Harry GREB would run into an elbow that was thrown by Kid Norfolk after a left hook would land. He would be stunned. He would go down for a 9 count. But he would fight his way back. And he would be given rounds 6 through 8. And what's interesting about Kid Norfolk, he had faced Leo Anderson. Called him Lee Anderson. It's for the colored light heavyweight championship belt. And he would be thumbed in his eye. And from that fight, he would become partially blind, as Harry GREB would become partially blind. In the elbow thrown by himself, Kid Norfolk. And Harry GREB had over 300 fights. He would have 47 more fights after impaired eye vision. And trying to get that problem resolved in Atlantic City, he would never resolve himself after being hospitalized for a surgical procedure of removing of scar tissue. And who would think 1 year later the exact same thing would happen to the man who would take the middleweight championship crown away from him, Theodore Tiger Flowers. I just wanted to touch on this fight with you. Kid Norfolk, Harry GREB. Both men would win a championship. Kid Norfolk would win the colored light heavyweight championship. Alabama Kid and Lee Anderson. Harry GREB would win the America's Light Heavyweight Championship belt, 1922, Gene Tunney. And the World Middleweight Championship belt, 1923, Johnny Wilson. Thanks for hanging there with me. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Salute to Kid Norfolk. Salute to Harry GREB. Thanks for hanging there with me. Until next time. Peace.